This is the Galaxy A51, Samsung's latest addition to its successful A series of smartphones. So what's Samsung up to this time? Let's find out, and before that, let's first unbox this all-new Samsung Galaxy A51. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking what you see in this video, please consider turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get this video started. So with the box, Samsung have gone for a clean aesthetic this time around. Up front, the first thing that we see is an illustration of the phone showing off the camera module and the Infinity O panel. We also have the branding here. There are some stickers to the top and bottom which give the IMEI amongst other information. To the back, like with most Samsung phones, there is a seal that says India SIM cards only. Enough about the box, let's now cut through the seal. Opening up the box, the first thing we see inside is the A51 itself. But if you look close, and in the lid is another box that contains a SIM ejector tool, a silicone case, along with some paperwork. Nothing we've not seen in the past. Getting back to the A51, let's remove this plastic. To the back, there's a familiar gradient, Prism Crush, but it is also fresh. This blue color, it looks really nice. Here it is side by side with the A50s. The design has been refreshed a little bit, it still looks good. As for the other box contents, there's a pair of earphones, we also get a USB Type-C cable and a charger. Now this is a fast charger, a 15-watt one at that. So that's pretty much it for the box contents. Now the A51, let's start with what is its most striking feature, the build. Like I mentioned earlier, Samsung have still retained that Prism Crush design from the A50s, but this blue variant, it's quite the looker. It's something else. The 7.9mm thickness, that prism back, the boxy camera array, the subtle pattern to the bottom of the back, it all feels very tastefully done. It's plastic, yes, but it still feels nice in hand. Despite the sleekness of the phone, Samsung still has a 4000 mAh battery packed in. Now, as far as placements go, we have a SIM tray to the left, the power and volume keys reside to the right, there's a secondary mic up top, the USB Type-C port, 3.5mm headphone jack, and the speaker reside at the bottom along with the primary microphone. It's not just the back that is striking. Turn the A51 to the front and the display. Samsung have kind of upped their game here as well. They've gone for an Infinity O panel, the O or the punch hole. It's smaller than the one on the Note 10 Plus or more recently even the S10 Lite. I guess this should be similar to what we should be seeing on the Note 10 Lite. There's a similar 32-megapixel selfie camera on board and it does pretty well with the selfies. They seem rich and detailed with good dynamic range. Even the live focus shots turned out well. Now this camera also allows for face unlock, which felt reasonably fast. Talking about biometrics, there's an optical fingerprint scanner underneath this display. And this display itself, it's covered by Corning's Gorilla Glass 3. And the display is a joy to use. It's a 60Hz panel, but it's very nice and vibrant. It's a Super AMOLED panel. The Full HD Plus resolution ensures everything appears quite crisp. The minimal bezels and the tiny punch hole up top ensure that the viewing experience feels immersive. And the colors, as always, they pop. The viewing angles remain impressive as ever. The contrast, the blacks, I'm sure you've heard this a million times. They're typically AMOLED. Very impressive. As always, Samsung have not compromised on wideband L1, so streaming HD content, not an issue. Where there might be a little hitch is when it comes to what's driving this display. The Galaxy A51 is powered by the same chip as the A50s, the Exynos 9611. This is something I wish Samsung had upgraded. I mean, the phone still feels snappy. The extra RAM, yes, the base variant now gets 6 gigs of RAM along with 128 gigs of UFS 2 storage. So the extra RAM does help out, and One UI 2.0 optimizations also ensure a smooth user experience, but I do wish we had more horsepower underneath the hood. Now One UI 2.0 is something we've already seen quite a bit about. It's built on top of Android 10 and it comes with a lot of the same functionality that we've seen on the S10 Lite. But there are a few A51 specific features as well. Samsung's calling it Alive Intelligence, and there are 4 aspects to it. Number 1, smart crop. When we take a screenshot, the A51 is supposed to detect what's the important aspect of the screenshot to help save time. Number 2, useful cards. Messages get organized on the basis of urgency, and there are calls to action set up for upcoming events. For example, if there is a movie that you're going to on a day or an OTP that you got. Number 3, a live search. This is an on-device search which enables searching across the phone and some installed apps as well. And finally, number 4, the default keyboard is multilingual now. So basically it supports English, Marathi and English, or English and Telugu. So with these combinations, you can still type regional text in English and you'd get auto detection, prediction, and even emojis based on that. It's also worth noting that this time around, Samsung Pay comes with MSD support. Why this is important is with MSD support, the A51 can mimic pretty much any card you have. So any terminal where credit or debit cards are accepted, you can use the A51 to swipe your card. And that's a nice addition. The cameras too have received an upgrade. The primary sensor, it's still 48 megapixels, but the lens is faster. It's a f1.8 lens this time. Taking a look at these samples, the pictures, they turned out great. Rich colors, excellent dynamic range. The images are pretty sharp with a lot of detail. The secondary sensor is 12 megapixels this time. This is the ultra-wide. It seems to do a reasonably good job. And then there's the 5 megapixel depth sensor to help out with portraits. What's new this time? The fourth sensor is a 5 megapixel macro. We saw a similar implementation on the Galaxy S10 Lite. So what do you guys think of this? Do you like being able to get this close to a subject? Let me know via the comments below. With video, the support for 4K, EIS kicks in at 1080, and Super Steady is also available with a crop at 1080p. From a software perspective, the AR Doodle feature is something that's come to the A series now. Honestly, I don't see it being very useful, but your mileage may vary. And with that, let's get to pricing. The Galaxy A51 starts at $23,999 for the 6128 variant and should be available from the 31st of January both offline and online. At this price, it seems to be another phone that Samsung is aiming squarely at the offline segment. Online, of course, there are phones that offer better value, but offline, this might be a strong contender, a strong seller for Samsung. So what do you think about this A51? Would you like for me to review this? Leave a comment down below letting me know. And with that, we get to the end of this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.